So if you're anything like me, where you feel like you don't have enough time or energy to complete a goal, so you don't start it, or you set goals, you start strong, but then eventually as the weeks and months go on, you start to peter out and end up not accomplishing that goal, then you have clicked the right video. Today we're going to talk about how to achieve your goals in just 12 weeks and do more in 12 weeks than others do in 1 year. The answers are all in this book, The 12-Week Year. Get more done in 12 weeks than others do in 12 months. Written by Byron Moran and Michael Lennington. Today we're going to talk about the 3 key points in this book to help you achieve your goals in just 12 weeks. And hi, I'm Corey. I'm a lawyer, and with any free time that I have, I like to snowboard, read, and learn new things that I'd like to share with you. Point 1, focus on execution. The book shared this really great quote by Ralph Waldo Emerson: "An ounce of action is worth a ton of theory." The book starts off by explaining that 65% of Americans are overweight. The diet industry is a $6 billion industry. And that most Americans know how to lose weight, they just don't do it. It's not a knowledge problem, it's an execution problem. The book cites that the one factor holding people back from achieving what they are truly capable of achieving is not a lack of knowledge or intellect. It's not some new strategy or idea. It's not who you're connected to, but it's a lack of consistent execution. Most people or organizations don't lack ideas. In fact, some organizations spend months developing their strategic plan, but they end up never implementing it. The breakdown is not in knowing, but applying. Point 2, discard annualized thinking. So what is annualized thinking? It's a process of setting annual goals. So think New Year's resolutions. I'm going to lose 20 pounds by the end of the year. I'm going to move out of state. I'm going to get a new job. Usually this all happens by the end of the year. So most organizations and people determine whether they achieve their goals over the course of a year. While they may break down their goals monthly or quarterly, they still will evaluate their success annually. So what are the flaws of annualized thinking? First, there's this unspoken belief that there's plenty of time left in the year. I still have 11 months to accomplish this goal. I still have 8 months to accomplish this goal. It really creates a lack of a sense of urgency, not realizing that every week is important and every day is important. It lulls people into thinking that they can put things off. The book describes that great things happen at the end of the year, and this can be really seen in finance and insurance industries. So for a lot of agencies, December is usually the best month, and the fourth quarter often represents 30 to 40% of all of the annual sales. It's a lot. The book quotes that there is nothing like a deadline to get you motivated, and that deadline creates the sense of urgency. This happens to me a lot. For instance, when I am applying for like a flight scholarship, I remember the last time I applied, I think I waited maybe 1 or 2 days before the deadline. And those 2 or 1 days, I was my most focused, my most productive. It was very motivating, and I just kind of scrambled to get it done. Point 3, think in periods of 12 weeks. Thinking in periods of 12 weeks creates a heightened sense of urgency and also an increased focus on a few key areas. So it boils down to focus and urgency. Stop thinking in terms of a year and start thinking in 12-week periods. This is based on a concept called periodization. Periodization began as an athletic training technique that dramatically improved performance. Eastern European athletes were the first to apply this to their Olympic training. So using this technique, athletes focused on one skill, usually over a 4 to 6 week period, and it showed to really improve performance on that skill. Then they would move on to the next skill after that 4 to 6 week period. Its principles are focus and concentration on a specific skill. The concept of 12-week planning is based on this idea. The 12-week approach changes the way you think and act. It creates a sense of clarity by focusing on a few key areas and also a sense of urgency to do what is required each day to achieve those goals. It's much more focused than an annual plan. The key is that you'll want to focus on 1 or 2 concrete goals. So with this approach, 12 weeks equals a year. And a few tips for goal setting is that you'll want to define your goal. You'll want to keep it simple, and you'll also want to focus on the execution, not necessarily the result, because you can't control the result, but you can control how you execute on the goal. So for instance, if I wanted to lose 5 pounds in 12 weeks, that is my goal. I would look at some concrete steps in achieving that goal. I would say, okay, I'm gonna work out 5 times a week, and I'm gonna sign up for Weight Watchers and kind of track my points on Weight Watchers every day. And I would make sure that I execute on those steps. So with this approach, the excitement and energy that typically happens every December will happen every day with this shorter time frame. The benefit of having a 12-week plan is that the deadline is always near. You don't lose sight of it. So you no longer have the luxury of putting off steps or thinking you have a lot of time left in the year. You must execute daily. Each week counts and each day counts. So 12 weeks is both long enough to get things done, but it's also short enough to create and maintain that sense of urgency. And that is the 12-week plan. So I hope you guys found this video useful or interesting and you got something from it. If you've done something similar to this, comment below. I appreciate you watching, and until next time.